Hey guys, we have the first raid in War Within, which is pretty exciting. I love looking at graphs and things like this. It's pretty exciting to me because it just kind of shows what classes are stacking up where. And just remember, this is very early on in the raid cycle, so a lot of people don't have certain gear and things like this. This is just the beginning, but when you see these first ones, it kind of gives you a rough estimate on, hey, where is my class in this particular environment of the new raid. So as we can see here, Fury Warrior is on the top, and you know Warrior in general is actually doing really well because Arms is what number 4. So Warrior overall sitting at a really good spot. Enhancement Shaman being number 2. I feel the Enhancement Shaman's actually doing really well with buffs, because the buffs that the Shaman has is actually really good, and its damage is good overall, which is always good. I love me a Shaman, right? I'm more of an Elemental, which Elemental is kind of mid pack right now, but I still Shaman's pretty cool. Now here's a cool thing, and I feel it's very interesting. Arcane Mage number 3. Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, I'm surprised that fire is actually so low. And this is usually the cycle. So if you do play fire mage, usually the cycle is, oh, arcane is good, let's buff fire. Okay, fire's the best now. That usually seems how it goes with the mages. So frost is pretty low too. But when you look at the damage, you're looking at all right, well, this guy's number 1, this guy's number 2, this guy's number 3. All the classes are fairly balanced overall, though. It's not like you have a like when you look at Fury Warrior and then you look at the Invoker at the bottom, they're not super far off. They definitely, there is the Fury Warrior definitely pulls ahead, but it's not like it's a giant amount. And when I say giant amount, a lot of people are like, well, if it's not perfectly balanced, it's bad. And obviously, I get it. If your class is somewhere on the bottom, like if you're playing balanced Druid, that probably doesn't feel good, or even Shadow Priest. But I think the classes are in a. It looks like they're in a pretty decent spot. But I Havoc Demon Hunter a little bit lower, but that's just the way it is. But I do see people rolling Demon Hunters in the new raid quite a bit, actually. So Windwalker Monk, I've seen some really great damage from Windwalker Monk in the Race to World First when they're doing splits and things. Obviously, splits don't. A lot of these top guilds are hiding their logs and stuff like that, so we will get more information as it comes on. But I have seen Windwalker do pretty good, and I've also seen Destruction Warlock actually pulling some great numbers. It does say what Affliction is the better Warlock spec right now, but I have seen in the World First Race, when they are doing their splits, I have seen Destruction Warlock actually do really well. And this is a overall with the raids, so there are going to be certain fights that do better for certain classes and specs and things. But I just love this. I know this is not a, hey, play this class because it's doing the best damage. This is, hey, let's look at this and kind of see what's going on for the first raid in the War Within. And I love this stuff. This stuff is just it's cool to me. Not that it's the end all be all and this is what you need to make sure that you're doing, because if you don't, you're not going to get a raid invite anywhere. This chart that I'm looking at is for the heroic raids. A lot of bosses have even been killed 50 times to give proper data for everything. So before you take this super serious, this is more of a fun thing to look at. It's just nice to be able to see where the classes are. And the classes that I play usually are Elemental Shaman. I do play Protection Warrior and things like that. I don't really raid as a tank very much anymore, But, you know, it's just nice to kind of see where they're at. Like, Ret Paladin being up there is pretty cool, too. You know, Ret Paladin is one of those specs that sometimes, you know, it's like they're either really good or really bad. It's like, I can burst. When I got wings, they are amazing. And then when wings fall off, they fall off. But it's nice to see Ret Paladins up there, too. Anything else? You know, we're looking at hunters. It looks like survival hunters up there. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Where's BM? I always like to look where BM is. BM is somewhere in the middle, and I do feel, now hear me out, I do feel being mid-pack for a lot of these classes is actually really good, because most of the time when Blizzard sees you're a mid-pack player, they don't really do anything with you, and sometimes that's the best thing for the class. If you're like a Fury Warrior or Arms Warrior, you know, sometimes Blizzard's like, wait a second here. Why are these guys doing so much damage? Well, maybe we should change this. And then all of a sudden, these classes are getting nerfs and nobody's playing them. It gets kind of goes down. Warrior's always been one of those class that scales really well with gear. And, you know, it's, I don't know. We'll kind of see what happens. I think this is exciting. I'm excited for the world first race. At the moment, Echo is actually in the lead. And, you know what? One thing that bothers me, and I wish this would change for the world first race. Max is actually not even in the world first race. He's like a coach on the sidelines doing calls and stuff. I wish he would actually play the game. I feel he's a great player, and I think it would benefit the team having you know, the leader of the guild, I guess. I don't know exactly how it works anymore with Liquid and things like that, because there's just, it's a more of a brand, I guess. I don't know if it's the guild. It's just kind of weird, but I really wish that they would have those top players. It just makes it more exciting. Like when Max is doing his live, like he has his stream going on, and then they have the world first Liquid channel doing their live, and he's just kind of like there, you know, not really doing anything. And I do wish that that he was a little bit more involved with the raid versus just the calling. Like when Sko for Method used to, you know, he plays the game. You know, he's not sitting back and just doing the calling. It was just kind of, I don't know, it was just kind of cool. Not saying anything bad about anybody, just one of those things that I wish that was more involved. I wish Max was a little bit more involved with the guild, and I'm sure he's probably the most involved. It's just when it comes to the raid scene, it's you know, I don't know. Listen, I'm an old school player. I like to see these people play. You know, if my football team's playing and, you know, the quarterback is on the sidelines doing calls, you know, I'd rather him be in the game. You know what I mean? But all right, guys. That's about it. What do you guys think? How do you guys think these classes are going to turn out? Do you guys feel any of these classes are going to move up or move down as the tiers go on? When players start getting more gear, when they're starting to get their tier sets, we're starting to get better the trinkets. How do you think this is going to end up? And I will talk with you guys again soon.